Genetics, the study of heredity, how traits are passed from one generation to the next. Every trait you have, from your eye color to your blood type, is controlled by genes that you inherited from your parents. In this video, we're going to do a quick review of key concepts in genetics. You'll be a genetics pro in no time. Let's get to it. First up, DNA, the molecule of life. Segments of DNA form genes. Genes are arranged on chromosomes. Every cell contains 46 chromosomes, 23 pairs. Now you know the basics of genetics. Next, Mendelian genetics. Gregor Mendel discovered how traits are inherited. His laws form the foundation of classical genetics. The law of dominance, law of segregation, and law of independent assortment. Let's look at monohybrid crosses, tracking one trait at a time, like height in pea plants. If a heterozygous tall plant is crossed with a short one, what are the possible offspring? We can use a Punnett square to figure this out. The probability of offspring inheriting the dominant trait depends on the parent's gene. In this case, there is a 50% chance the offspring will be tall, and a 50% chance the allele be short. Now let's move on to dihybrid crosses. Dihybrid crosses track two traits at once, like seed shape and color in pea plants. If we cross two plants that are heterozygous for both traits, what are the possible offspring? We can use the FOIL method to determine all the allele combinations. First, we take the first letters of each parent's genotype, RRYY, and combine them, RRYY. Then the outer letters of each parent, RRYY, RRYY, and finally, the inner letters, RRYY. So the possible genotypes of the offspring are RRYY, RRYY, RRYY. Non-Mendelian inheritance. Not all traits follow Mendel's rules. Incomplete dominance, codominance, and multiple alleles are some examples. Codominance means both alleles are expressed equally. A classic example is the AB blood group. A and B alleles totally show codominance, meaning both traits are expressed together. Pedigrees. They're all about the family history and background of animals, right? Pedigree charts show how traits are passed down through families. They help us understand patterns of genetic disorders, whether they're dominant, recessive, or gender-linked. We've covered a lot, but there's still more to genetics. Genetic engineering is super cool. It lets scientists tweak genes in fun ways, like cloning, gene therapy, and creating GMOs. Pretty fascinating, right? Isn't that wild? Before we wrap up, let's check your understanding. What's the difference between genotype and phenotype? Genotype refers to the genetic makeup, the alleles an individual has. Phenotype is the observable trait. Remember, some traits are determined by multiple genes and environmental factors. How do we use Punnett squares? We use them to predict the probability of offspring inheriting certain traits based on the parent's gene. What are examples of codominance is when both alleles are expressed. A great example is the AB blood group. How does a pedigree chart work? A pedigree chart uses symbols and lines to represent the inheritance of traits across generations. You've learned a lot about genetics. Let's test your knowledge with a quick quiz. Click here to get started. Thanks for watching. Don't forget our habit to like, share, and comment.